करें। तो मैं बता देता हूँ, अजमत अली ने 1 रुपया किया है, विपिन शुक्ला ने 1 रुपये, 100 रुपये आए हैं रवि रंजन के। दोस्तों एक बार फिर से रवि रंजन जी आपका वेरी वेरी थैंक यू। तो मैं रवि नाम जरूर से लिखना चाहूंगा एक बार लाइव के अंदर, क्योंकि रवि भाई ने हमें बहुत बढ़िया सपोर्ट किया आज रवि रंजन ने। तो ये लो रवि भाई आपका नाम लिख दिया मैंने लाइव में, थोड़ा सॉरी लेट हुआ हूँ। 2 रुपये अभिषेक सिंह ने, 5 रुपये हंसराज मीना ने, 1 रुपया आयुष ने, 2 रुपये प्रकाश ने। तो प्लीज रवि जी जरूर लिख दें, इन्होंने 100 रुपये का पेटीएम सपोर्ट हमें किया है।
My daughter, everyone is very proud. Message from my coach, my manager, everybody. So, again, it was there waiting to happen. I started off the tournament, needed 3 wickets. I know at some point it will happen, but as I said to my brother, they were actually more anxious than I am. They had a big presentation like 2 games ago, and I was like, guys, listen, it will happen here. It will happen on God's time, not on my time, and it's perfect that it happened here at the Queen's Park Oval. I really feel proud about that. I guess we go celebrate, but the game is not finished, and hopefully we are still able to get to play again, and then see how the day pan out.
Hey, there's your brother, DM Young Bravo.
तो दोस्तों जो भी हमें लाइव देख रहे हैं प्लीज वीडियो लाइक जरूर से कर लें, क्योंकि लाइक नहीं किया आपने तो बहुत ही गलती कर रहे हो, क्योंकि लाइक करोगे तो ही आप इस मैच को अच्छे तरीके से देख पाओगे। तो रवि भाई ने हमें 100 रुपये किए, इसके लिए वेरी वेरी थैंक यू रवि भाई। 7,000 लोग हमारे साथ आ चुके हैं दोस्तों।
It's good to have fans in the stands, but at the
तो
same
जो
time,
कोई भाई पेटीएम करेगा उसका नाम मैं जरूर से लूंगा।
1,000. You have to play the game in one way, high intensity, full of energy, play with passion, play with heart, and play fair. And that's how I play my cricket throughout my life. So whether there is fans in the stands or not, I'll be able to play one way.
It's been gorgeous to watch your career, and there are many youngsters around the CPL who I'm sure feel very privileged to be so close to DJ Bravo. When you were coming up in your career, who did you look at like that?
Ian Bishop, definitely. I was a big fan of him. Phil Simmons, Brian Lara, obviously. Richard Smith, when I started my first-class career, Richard Smith was the captain of the team. And then, obviously, Darren Ganga, who I played under most, So I think even this core of players, Darren Ganga need to take a lot of credit as well, because, we are young players coming through our under 19 days. And then, he was our leader. And, obviously, Darren is a very strong leader. So I think all of us give a lot of respect to him for that. But I said the likes of Bishop, Phil Simmons, all these guys, Mervyn Dillon also, they all play a part. My childhood coach, Charles Gillen, he's always been there for me. Being able to learn things on my own, watch the game. I watch cricket a lot. When I'm not playing, I watch. I want to see what other guys are doing.
तो दोस्तों जिसने भी अभी तक वीडियो लाइक नहीं किया तो कर दो। 56 रन ठोक चुके हैं दोस्तों, 1 विकेट के नुकसान पे, 5.4 ओवर, तेज तरारी पारी यहाँ पे चली, 1 विकेट का नुकसान हुआ, लेकिन फिर भी बहुत जबरदस्त।
Well, many will want to learn from you. Do you make it a priority to sort of mentor and coach the younger players?
Yeah, definitely.
10 रुपये आए हैं यहाँ पे गंगाधर भाई की तरफ से, 1 रुपया आया नवाज अहमद की तरफ से, 1 रुपये गौरव भाई की तरफ से, 2 रुपये अब्दुल जुबैर, 30 रुपये परवेज भाई की तरफ से। तो थैंक यू परवेज भाई। राकेश जी 11 रुपये, 50 रुपये मनीष भाई ने किए हैं दोस्तों। मनीष जी आपका भी नाम लिखते हैं अब तो, क्योंकि आपने 50 रुपये बहुत ज़्यादा किए हमें। मनीष भाई थैंक यू वेरी मच मनीष। और मनीष के बाद 2 रुपये रोहित ने, 1 रुपये निखिल ने, 1 रुपये अमजद अली ने, 30 रुपये परवेज भाई ने। तो कमेंट में मनीष भाई भी जरूर से लिख देना। ये हमारे सब भाई लोग हैं जो हम लाइव करते हैं हमें सपोर्ट करने के लिए, क्योंकि लाइव पूरी रिस्क पे है दोस्तों, कभी भी यूट्यूब की तरफ से स्ट्राइक आ सकती है और चैनल बंद हो सकता है दोस्तों। ये मैं अभी पहले बता दूं आपको, तो इसलिए आप सभी थोड़ा एक्टिव ही रहना कि कभी भी लाइव बंद हो जाए। तो चैनल सब्सक्राइब जरूर से कर लेना।
It's been a long and illustrious career, Dwayne Bravo, and you've managed to
15 रुपए आए हैं धवल धीरेन्द्र सोलोनी की तरफ से।
Even out of lockdown, and of course
धवल धीरेन्द्र सोलोनी थैंक यू वेरी मच। 1 रुपये आया है विपिन शुक्ला की तरफ से, थैंक यू वेरी मच विपिन भाई आपका भी।
Self pride is one of it.
20 रुपए आए हैं पट्टी दिनेश कुमार भाई की तरफ से, इनका भी वेरी वेरी थैंक यू मच।
Eat properly. I always have a
तो दोस्तों ये नंबर है 8949716964, इस पे आप पेटीएम कर सकते हैं। और ये नंबर है ऑनलाइन आईडी के लिए, तो इस नंबर पे आप ऑनलाइन आईडी के लिए जो इनको नॉलेज है ऑनलाइन आईडी का वो जाके मैसेज कर सकते हैं। बहुत ही बढ़िया बंदे हैं, आज के हमारे स्पॉन्सर हैं ये, तो इनसे भी ज़रूर से आप दोस्तों कॉन्टैक्ट कर लें। और लाइक में कमी मत रखें और सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर से कर लें। कभी भी यूट्यूब की तरफ से स्ट्राइक पड़ सकता है, तो लाइक और सब्सक्राइब किया होना ज़रूरी है, ताकि आपको 5 जो प्राइवेट है उनमें करके दिखा सकें। और यहाँ पे 5 रुपये आए हैं विक्की सेठी की तरफ से। थैंक यू विक्की सेठी ब्रदर, आपका भी। अब्दुल जब्बर 1 रुपया आया है अब्दुल जब्बेर भाई की तरफ से। तो 10 रुपये यहाँ पे हमें अमित भाई ने किए हैं, तो थैंक यू अमित।
CPL is always a tough tournament. I think Zouks over the years has been very unlucky. Obviously, they always have a good squad. All the teams always have a good squad on paper. But at the end of the day, cricket play on the field. And when you don't start a tournament strong enough, it's always difficult to come back. Happy to see that they start better this season. But as I said before, they always have a very good squad and a good team. Just like Sinkids, just like Talawas, just like Tridents, Warriors. So we all have good quality players, good international players coming. It's just on any given day, anybody can.
Andre Russell at the Queen's Park Oval, Rashidan right here.
My friend, we're gonna have some fun.
Let's go find this guy!
PlayStation.
Sent back. 2 wickets from the over. 57 for 2.
I'm Zach Poland. I'm the owner of Affordable Mudjacking Concrete Lifting. We lift, level, and raise concrete in the Kansas City metro area. Information Communication Group, I often refer to ICG just for short. They answer our phones for us, and they actually do a little bit more than that. I mean, they're an answering service, but to me, they are a valuable employee. The way I view them, because they're an extension of our company, and they actually schedule the estimates. They will organize them in a geographic location for us, so the scheduling is a lot easier to do. And if there's ever any questions or anything that comes up that they don't know about, they always get in touch with us to make sure that they're doing what we want. They're there 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. They never miss. I mean, it's great. So I'm going to say the cost is probably 20% of what it would cost me otherwise. We have what we use is Estimate Rocket, is our estimating program, but it's also a scheduling program too. And it can be used to the extent that you want it to be used as well. But that's what we use for our estimating software. That's what they use for our scheduling software, and it all kind of intertwines and it makes everything really pretty easy. But the system that I use, I brought to them. They adapted, integrated it into what they do, and it was seamless. I mean, they took on and taught themselves what they needed to know about it and took off with it. I didn't have to do hardly any training with it whatsoever. I mean, they took the initiative and built themselves around it and what I wanted, and easy.
On behalf of all of our team at the CPL, congratulations on a big milestone.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Tremendous servant of the game, Dwayne Bravo. And this was a historic moment. The first player in history to get to that milestone, and followed it up with good measure. 501 not out. So looking to add to that tally. And a historic number as well. Trying to be good cricket. But look at this performance. Debut all the way back February 2006 against New Zealand. Played alongside 400 different teammates, 21 different teams. Dismissed 312 different batsmen. And the batsman most dismissed, his countryman, his good friend, Kieron Pollard. An amazing performance. A couple of things really stand out for me in that interview. First of all, he mentioned that self-pride, that personal pride, not only in his performances, but also in terms of his fitness and his durability in the sport. And the second thing that really stood out is the adulation and the admiration for Ian Bishop and Darren Ganga, those who have gone before him. And that's very important. Ian Bishop, what do you make of Dwayne Bravo? And for our viewers, I just want to give you a little snippet of information. At under 15 level, Ian Bishop has been credited, and I use that word guardedly, for sending Dwayne Bravo home from a tour. Care to elaborate, Ian Bishop?
Thank you very much, Samuel Battery. That's very kind of you. And I deserve no credit for that. I was basically following the instructions of the coach at the time, who was adamant, God rest his soul, and people don't necessarily know that, so I'm saying it live for the very first time. I was the manager. Look, I have a lot of admiration for Dwayne. I'm very proud of him, like everybody else, as you, as a former teammate, winning World Cups together. When Dwayne started off, people tend to forget that same under-15 tournament, Dwayne was a batsman in that tournament who bowled a bit. When Dwayne first played international cricket, test match cricket, he batted at 6. He was a batsman who supplemented the rest of the bowling. And so his bowling started superseding his batting as he went deeper into his career, and that was a transformation. But test cricket, and I'm sure Dwayne will tell you this himself, was his real dream coming through the system as a kid. He would never thought 500 T20 wickets. Crazy. It wasn't around when he was growing up. So again, really proud of the man he's become, the entertainer he's become. And he sort of decided to make that shift when he lost the West Indies captaincy and other stuff to move into T20, and he's a trailblazer, and that's probably one of the highest regards you can have for him.
Trendsetter, certainly.
Eldorado Skycam.
Reflecting back here, the good news, the covers coming off, the sunshine finding its way through the clouds, and we're optimistic that we'll have play shortly. For those of you who are now tuning in, this is what has transpired thus far. The St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots having been inserted, limped to 110 for 9. Ben Dunk got to 33. Azari Joseph unbeaten on 21. The Afghan Mohamed Nabi, 5 for 15, did the damage. The St. Lucia Zouks only faced 2.5 overs. They already raced the 30 for 1.
A bit of a tourist site, you can go up into the hill, have a picnic, enjoy the views.
We'll take a short break, and as soon as there's live action, we'll be back here from the Queen's Park Oval.
In Trinidad and Tobago, Southern City to complement Port of Spain, the Northern City. End of the over, 62 for 3. A lull period in the game after we got that rollicking start from the openers. Rockman Paul taking a little more time to get his field placing right. There will be a deep mid-wicket, slip will come out, so a little more defensive approach by the Tallowers.
Be a wide. It's a good move, I think, continuing with Mujib. He's the danger bowler, and take one more wicket here. Either Puran or Taylor right on top in this contest.
Tom off spinners, they've done well today. 1 for 17 from Mohammad Nabi, bowling for the Zouks. Roston Chase picking up 3 wickets in the earlier match.
Yeah, they both bowled exceptionally well. I think it was not so much turn, it was bounce they were getting. I think also they were used very cleverly up against the left-handed batsman. They were well and truly on top in that contest. I think the 8 overs combined for those 2 bowlers you mentioned only went for 29 runs, I think, in total.
John Ross Jagger also picked up 2 wickets for 29. Another off spinner playing for the Patriots. Sandeep Lamachani will get his opportunity.
Hopefully not bowling off spin though. That'll be probably wide, I think, as that spins past the thigh and the keeper for that matter.
Have a look at that skill from Mujib. That's out, yes. Umpire making no mistake, raising that dreaded finger. Another one goes for the Warriors. And it's Pooran this time.
Another superb delivery from Mujib. This tight line. Pooran looking to hit it square of the wicket. Too tight. The drift in, the turn, the bounce, the little outside edge. Neatly taken by Phillips behind the stumps. So this is a big wicket. A real wobble here by the Warriors. Pooran goes for 4 at 67 for 4.
After the opening stand of 57, we've seen 4 wickets fall for 10 runs now. Shafin Rutherford hasn't had an impact with the bat in the tournament just yet. Highly skilled player. Pressure getting to the Warriors. Shafin Rutherford going out with 2 left-handed side of gloves.
Well, it's been done before, but normally done by a number 10 or number 11. You can see Danny Morrison doing that, couldn't you? Easily walking out with either no gloves or 2 right or 2 lefts. We've seen in Australia in the Big Bash, Fawad Ahmed walk out with no bat, which is an odd tactic. I don't know how he's going to score. Is he going to punch the ball? Fawad will be listening to this as well. He'll be having a little chuckle on the memory of that.
Survives that one.
Another beautiful piece of bowling here to get rid of Nicholas Pooran. Just the drift into the left-hander, then the bite and turn, and bounce to go with it. Glenn Phillips very neat behind the stumps as well.
Spoke about that layering of grass on this new surface. Remember, we were playing on this pitch for the first time Hero CPL 2020 just allows the ball to bounce a bit. If you operate a little bit there, that is something that the off spinners they've enjoyed.
Match 15 of Hero CPL 2020 will continue. St. Lucia Zouks up against the Patriots.
Important adjustment you've got to make as a batsman.
Live images here at the Queen's Park Oval. We had just about half an hour in delay because of rain. Now we've got blue sky.
68 for 4.
Covers are off. Conditions look very good for the resumption. And the players are already on the field. If you missed it, this is what we've had so far in this contest. The Patriots getting to 110. And the Zouks off to a blistering start, 30 for 1. Cornwall 26 from 11. He was the aggressor in that opening partnership of 30. 81 required now for the Zouks. Mohamed Nabi, star of the show so far, 5 wickets to him. The first, Chris Lynn.
What will be your message to
Len
the
Nick Kelly,
remaining batsmen in your team?
fought by Rakeem Cornwall. Ramdin, Evan Lewis, wickets falling in quick succession. His career best figures and third best in Hero CPL's history.
And finish the innings well to catch up for the little wobble they've had here.
Tamuri, good start so far by the Zouks.
I suppose the urge to go hard and look for
absolutely.
boundaries, just to
Rakeem Cornwall came out and played his natural game, and he got out just the ball before they came off for rain. As you touched on, 30 minutes we've had delay. Mark Dial has come in for that wicket.
The innings a little bit,
but
and by doing
the
that, you're
Zouks have
also
got a
giving
jump on this modest total, only needing 111. They've already got 30 in the bank.
Hey दोस्तों, आप में से बहुत लोग जानते होंगे मुझे क्रिकेट से प्यार है और हाल ही में मैंने My 11 सर्कल नाम का ये बहुत अच्छा ऐप देखा। इसके बारे में अनोखी बात यह है कि हम इस ऐप पर सौरव गांगुली, वॉटसन और राशिद खान जैसे चैंपियंस के साथ खेल सकते हैं। दोस्तों, फैंटेसी क्रिकेट खेलना बहुत आसान है। आप दोनों टीम में से 11 खिलाड़ी चुनते हैं और अपने खुद की टीम बनाते हैं। कैरेबियन T20 लीग My 11 सर्कल पर हो रहा है।
Moving from mid-on and taking a stumbling catch.
To this 11 offers a bowling option to Paul.
Just trying to get my head around this shot. First ball straight after the break. Remarkable, really. I know the plan might have been to try to break the back of this total as quick as possible, but at least give yourself a few balls to get settled and adjusted to the conditions. But Mark Dowell fails to do that. He goes without scoring off the very first ball. It's 30 for 2.
Very similar. All rounders, both bowl well and have that role as power hitter. Well, the slip's still there. Why wouldn't it be?
Over the years, the Warriors have done very well against slow bowlers. Batting perspective, potency as well with the ball. Has been with their spinners. So you'd expect Shafin Rutherford to be able to counter this challenge of Lamachani. Problem is he hasn't had game time.
Roston Chase leading the batting for this Zouks team. 2 half centuries already in Hero CPL 2020. A classical styled player, you would say, with the bat.
It's probably what's required at this stage. Someone with a conventional technique, looking just to work the ball around with a low-risk approach.
It's dicing with danger. It's different if it was the leg break, hitting with the spin.
We've seen the dominance of spin on this surface. Jonas Jagisa. This was a wicket of Mark Dial. So the principles of batting you would expect will remain the same. First delivery, hitting across the line, Dial.
Thomas, extremely expensive. 1 over, conceding 24.
Explain that, Tom Moody. Not shot by Dial.
I was going to mention Rockman Paul as a bowling option, the captain. He is now for the first time in the tournament.
Yeah, it's interesting he's come on because he's clearly feeling like he may have to make up some of O'Shane Thomas's overs, but I would have been tempted to throw the ball back to Thomas and say, right, here's the time to redeem yourself. It was a poor first over. They need Thomas firing. They need him in form. They need to be thinking the bigger picture as well. If he suddenly walks away from this game only bowling 1 or 2 overs and still has that negative feeling of that 1 over that was punished, in a way you're pushing him further away from that.
Your smell is the smell of morning itself.
Being in the contest.
For you, only the perfect timing will do. Those who dare.
Always felt in my time as playing T20 cricket and captaining teams that it was very important within the first 10 or 12 overs to prime bowlers and your bowling options. One, to give you an indication as to which bowlers you'd use in the death overs. And also it's an opportunity to see where bowlers are. Depending on the game, give them an opportunity to get their confidence back. As you rightly mentioned, would have been an option for Paul to probably get O'Shane back on the ball. Maybe redeem himself after that expensive over. That's how you prime players. That's how you get players into full form. It's a role of a captain. It's early days in the tournament as well, so it's a little more latitude for Paul to do so.
Football came with a mission.
So all the teams will be building, trying to climax and peak
to the Patriots,
more to the end of this tournament.
From 11, 3 hero maximums.
You also want to know which are your best players.
Hat-trick ball for Imran Khan.
Especially in a team like the Jamaica Talawas, you have many all-rounders. Sometimes you might just want to pick a specialist option as against going with an all-rounder. Jermaine Blackwood, a specialist batsman in this Talawas team, not featured yet in the tournament. Was on tour with the West Indies in England, played that brilliant innings of 90. Led the West Indies to victory in the run chase of the first Test match in Southampton.
Well, Raheem Cornwall got them off to a blazing start. He's got his own style, and it's a very effective one. He's brutal down the ground, and he's happy to pull the ball away to leg.
Nice offhand. Brilliant from Rutherford. It's not only about the muscle, it's about the skill.
In that role.
10 overs gone, 75 for 4.
Bowling on.
Donovan Miller, the coach of the Zouks team, spoke about being positive at the top of players understanding their role. You could glean from that innings that Raheem's role was to score boundaries in the power play overs, and he did so. Set this run chase off to the right. Tone for the likes of Andre Fletcher, Roston Chase to come in and just take that control of the innings. Donovan Miller to the left of screen. Andre Fletcher just ball watching, not responding initially to Roston Chase. 5 overs gone, 36 for 2.
Yeah, an early call, an easy single Fletcher was ball watching. He's probably ball counting as well. In the last ball of the over, thought, well, I fancy facing the first one in the next. We've all been there, Darren.
Indeed. Northern Range in the background. Lots of houses on the hills, capitalize on the view of the ocean.
Yeah, the likes of Brian Lara live up there, and Darren Ganga. Wonderful views, wonderful lifestyle.
Doesn't compare to yours in Australia, Tom.
Can only wish.
You can sense that Andre Fletcher is having a different approach to his innings, recognizing what transpired in the first half of this match.
Welcome back to the end of the Angostura LLB drinks break. The players and umpires alike out there.
Watchful, not extravagant in his stroke play.
Beautiful stuff from Ajib. He really has been on song here this afternoon. And a wonderful angle in. First ball for Shimron Hetmeyer. And the catch, brilliantly taken by Ajib, straight at him.
Assessing the situation, assessing conditions, and coming up with an approach to be successful.
How they come and win it go, don't they?
It's about the
That's
execution.
3 to Majid, 3 for 15. Look at an 11 dot ball.
Taking minimal risk
as well.
Maybe developing a good partnership with Roston
Andre
Chase.
Russell, the other one. 1 for 16 from 2 overs. Here we go. Chani, here he is. Just to float things up.
Patriots don't quite boast the same quality with their spin attack as what the Zouks do, and to be fair, what many teams do in this year's Hero CPL.
A lot of work here for Rutherford. His good mate went for a golden duck.
That's humongous. He will wait for the delivery to get into his zone, so to speak.
Oh, see you later. He's got to go as well. Shafang Rutherford hangs his head, and once again the drinks break. Sammy B has done the trick.
End of the Guardian line.
Really knuckles looking delivery here from Sandeep Lamichhane, but it was the googly going away from the left-handed Shafang Rutherford, and you can't keep this man out of the game. Mujib taking a simple catch there, and the wickets continue to fall. Look at that short delivery, but it was a googly. Didn't get the connection that he wanted, and then he would be disappointed with that. But elation for the young man from Nepal. Look at that there, he's happy. He don't mind how they come. And Rutherford goes for 6. Warriors slip into some trouble now at 76 for 5.
Just getting underneath it and lifting it, hoisting it miles into the air. Hit the top of that stand.
Like the head position when he played that shot. He wasn't looking to the direction where the ball was hit. His head was looking down and lifted very early. Something that is essential when you're playing the lofted shots. Ideal style player for the situation. Less than run a ball now.
Number 7 for the Warriors is out the centre. It's Chemo Paul.
In the direction of the ball, stays
Face
down.
the music from Lamichhane.
Chipped away into space over mid-wicket for a couple.
Bounce. What a beauty.
That brings up the 50.
Wow.
It's the loss
Liking
of 2
that.
wickets.
So are you, Samuel. What a smile on your
Leave
dog.
that in the 7th
Seen some
over.
bounce in the earlier match as well on this new deck. Looking at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, so I reckon it's a Googly again from Sandeep Lamichhane. This is the wicket. This is the reason why Keeper Paul is here. Look at the release against Imran Khan and the wrist position. Seeing the revs on the ball. So it's always going to be leaving.
Prior to this Euro CPL 2020.
Not really in a position to make that connection that he wanted. Always body away from the shot.
Professional Cricket League here in the West Indies.
Oh, Sandy.
Yeah, and his head too. I just think that replay, Shafane Rutherford, the head thrown back to the heavens.
Wicket taker in that format
really
of the
was,
game.
Poor option.
Now making the adjustment.
Such a good player.
In T20 cricket.
Big moment in the match. Needed responsibility. Good numbers from Chemo Paul. He's no slouch. Very handy with bat in hand. Just chatting here with the field.
Look at how he clears that front foot.
Rodman,
He's mindful of
Imran Khan. He's down at hot spot and long
the
on.
delivery into his
best fielders. Andre Russell's at long on.
Doesn't get his front foot in the way. Back
good
coming
Shafane.
through.
Not today.
To make contact. Shorter taken. Well.
Yes, some lovely little bit of turn and bounce.
Wasn't the best
11
of
bowls,
deliveries
76
from
for
Imran
5.
Khan, but it was a sharp catch to get rid of Fletcher. He'll be disappointed.
Excellent stuff from Sandeep Lamichhane.
Position at a mid-wicket.
2 overs, 1 for 3.
Nice.
Really enjoying these conditions.
Just skidded on a little bit to Fletcher. That's
apart from
why he
those
couldn't get the
top.
elevation
Brandon
he was
King
hoping to get.
Hemorrhage.
But a sharp catch from Kelly. Imran Khan will be well pleased with that as he picks up another one. Fletcher goes for 16. It's 52 for 3.
Ross Taylor, he's seen a couple of mates come and go. He hasn't got out of first gear either. He's only got 5, but he's also used up a dozen deliveries. And the skipper, Chris Green, to come in. Oh, it's a lovely length. That is delightful from Rodman Towell. Yeah, and then you've got the new man in, Ashmeel Ned. So due to come as well, late in the order. Imran Tahir, he's down the bottom.
New batsman.
In the engine room. It's going so swimmingly.
Yeah,
there were none for 56. Some there were 3 for 57.
Natural instinct is to
Funny
go
old
after
game.
the bowling.
Ross Taylor will have to shepherd
like
them home,
spin.
shepherd them to a good score,
115.
something that they feel they can
really
defend.
how dangerous he can be. Imran Khan just
Thomas
dragging
had a
that ball
rough
down
opening
and
over.
skidding
We
through.
haven't seen him since.
Proving hard
Captain
to pull
Robin
away
Powell.
over
We
the
haven't seen
infield.
him prior to this match taking the
Can't
responsibility
believe it.
into his second over.
Lux run out today, that is.
Saw something similar in the first match for those of you who were tuned in then. So Lucia Zouks got off to a fly in the power play, then slowed down considerably, and then some momentum to the back end. Perhaps the Warriors would have seen that and would be hoping for a similar result. They can get up to maybe that 150 mark. They'll be very, very pleased.
Hustle for 2. Big side of the ground here this afternoon.
He's had a pretty good game so far. 5 for 15.
Showed you at length
He's
from
had a very good tournament
Game
so
7,
far.
the first of our double
Both
headers.
bat and ball.
Difference of going across to the other side of the square here at Lara.
Muhammad Nabi has
Simply swap
shown
sides
all
for the
his
bigger
experience
side.
over the last
there.
10 days or so.
Warriors, yeah, it wasn't too bad at all in the power play.
Well, when he's got
All
the
of a sudden
bat in
start to
hand,
lose wickets, and that's what happens.
healthy strike rate of just short of 145.
Acceleration is non-existent.
And he's taken a fistful of wickets.
Tough gig.
2 Player of the Match awards already.
Lost his towel out the back.
Zouks get over the line.
Rodman
I'm sure
Towell.
he'll be looking for his 3rd.
That's what we're playing for, Sammy. Did you have anything to do with this?
Nabi?
Design?
Wonderful trophy. Barbados Tridents, of course, the defending champions. Everyone else looking to grab it off them. And will it be the year for the Guyana Amazon Warriors? Been to the final on 5 previous occasions. The Talawas, they've had their hands on it twice before. This one is edged away. Beautiful use of the wrist
Veteran will be
from Ross
mindful of
Taylor.
that current ball.
He deliberately tried to open the face of the bat there. maybe not as fine as he wanted to, but the result is what he was after.
Very well played. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, lovely.
That reverse sweep.
On purpose, got it right where he wanted to. Ran it off
He
the
selected
face.
his spot, and the execution
Very nice.
was
With third
equally
man
good.
up. Delicate touch from Roscoe Taylor. Gets to double figures
for a
now.
lot of players these
Fastball.
days, the reverse sweep is as natural as
Again, the other
conventional
side.
sweep.
Chana can tidy up. A dozen overs
Does
bowled. It's
cause a
85
headache
for 5
captains
here.
with field placements. There's only one player in the ring behind square on the offside. There is the slip, of course, but one fielder on the ring. That's all he has to
Youngsters
be.
here for the guy in the Amazon Warriors.
And he does it again. This time finer. Lynn doing the chase, but it's going to run away for another boundary. So 2 boundaries with the reverse sweep to finish the 8th over. It's 61 for 3.
Here we go, boys.
Last
Rose
over
a
went for
ball
9, so a bit more healthier for the Warriors.
Bowling outside the off stump.
Pursuit of, seeing a batteries on about that 140, 150 would be very handy
your
from
line,
here.
get straight, and then it becomes
Definitely, if they
easier
could breach
to work the
150,
ball through the
it'd be,
onside.
Static, I would say. Chris Green and co. Guyana Amazon Warriors. Because they
Exactly
really have
50
fallen in the
required
hole.
now from 72.
As I mentioned there, none for 56, suddenly 57 for 3, and then
Imran Khan, he's been the
67
best
all of the 4th, and
the
then
Patriots
76
bowlers,
for the last
3
with
for
the 4.
16. He was on a hat-trick
Putting
as
a lot
well.
of pressure on themselves here, the Warriors. It's a lovely little flight, the start to the 13th.
Nice field.
Emirates,
nice fielding operation here.
To
Field
finish his
setting is
complement of 4 overs.
such that they're not going to give them that easy single.
I'll get there.
Making a change now as we speak, so that offside being strengthened. An indication that perhaps we're trying to bowl the leg spin a little bit more often, or maybe it can be a setup.
I think that's
Could
right.
it be a bluff? 2 points
Pound's already
and the
picked up
googly.
3. If he can sneak another wicket in here, there is still hope for him. To bring
extra bounce
Mohamed Nabi to the
today.
crease, and
Certainly
they
has.
can knock over
a heap
him.
of
So if they get
difference.
2 more wickets, could well just send
In terms
a
of
wave of
bounce, think
uncertainty
about that. The difference even
through
at,
the
Queen's
Zouks
Park
dugout.
Oval. Now, this was a different trophy because it was quite a different trophy in the early years, and you were involved, weren't you? 2015. Had your hands on the trophy.
That's right, with the Trinidad and Tobago Red Steel at the
Haven't
time.
seen the captain of the Patriots team bowl just
2015
yet. Riyad
champions.
Emirates. He's the leading wicket taker for this
This is
Patriots
how
side.
the lineup.
7 wickets so far.
Jamaica
And you would think
Tallowers
the conditions here at the
inaugural
Queen's Park
season,
Oval
followed by the
will
Tridents.
favour his type of
Red
bowling.
Steel against the
Usual
Barbados
cutters.
Tridents in that final. Tallowers
Ability
once
to
more.
roll his fingers across
And the
the
Night
seam.
Riders in succession. And last year, of course, the Barbados Tridents.
So one
Who
more
will it
wicket
be in
here by the
2020?
spinners might just create that opening for Emirates to come and try and
This one,
wicket taking.
chases on for Mujib.
That is required for the Patriots if
Excellent
they are to
job
win this
in
game.
the deep. Just limiting them to 2. So good support in the field.
I'll get to him.
And from the Afghan,
Is that intentional?
just going back
Just opened the blade at the last
the
minute.
previous winners
When you recognize that
They
the
are
ball was
14s.
turning away.
that have held their hands on that cup, on that trophy.
Yeah, I think it
Teams
was
haven't.
intentional. No slip in place. So you
Yes, I
have to
remember
beat
that
the
first
keeper.
final, of course. It was at the Queen's Park Oval.
Edgy, but
Oh, that's gone and ripped. Beautifully bowled. Yeah, then we had a couple of finals and
the
some
blade
kits
was open, looking to get it
were,
behind square.
early on. And of course, we've been here. Oh, there's that trophy you would have had your hands on, Samuel
You mentioned
Badri.
the high percentage of dot
Yeah.
deliveries absorbed by
Red
teams in
Steer
Euro
cutting
CPL
loose.
2020.
Tobago Night
That
Riders.
previous shot by Roston Chase.
Hello.
It's one approach
Wow.
to
Bit of
reducing
fizz.
that dot
2
percentage.
fat ladies. It's 88 for 5 here.
Just nearly there. Could have chopped on. But yeah, having the ability to break your wrists, use the pace of the ball, that's a skill that will serve you well in these conditions. And again,
I think this one was more of an edge than an intentional guide down to third man. but still,
Captain
the
Chris
reward is
Green,
2 more runs. 9 gone at 68.
Come in next. He would love, dearly love for these two to carry on and get them up to that total that they would be happy with. They've got a good bowling attack. Just need to put runs on the board. Carlos Brathwaite comes into the attack.
He can be a little expensive. Had a wee chat to him before the coin toss. Thrashed to third man. Charney in the way. He's just trying to subtly change things in his action, he was saying.
3 for 23 in Khan. Excellent spell of bowling.
Players constantly fine-tuning, working on their craft. Batting, bowling, fielding. You name it. Strapping tall tower.
Yeah, he's done his job. He's the leading spinner in this
good vibe.
Patriots outfit.
Everyone loves a winner.
Taking 3 wickets
wonderful
now,
memory.
the captain,
Indelibly etched.
who has bowled well so far this tournament.
Helmut was the coach of the team back then.
I think he'll enjoy
Suleiman
bowling on
Ben.
this surface too. He'll find the right length.
Can't miss Suleiman Ben, but really wonderful motion, wonderful experience. This one is up in the air, Glenn Phillips.
Just
He
get his
calls
length
for it.
wrong and it's sat up in the surface.
And it's taken. Carlos Brathwaite with immediate impact in this match in his first over. And another wicket forward for the Amazon Warriors, Kimo Paul.
Bowled a lot from round the wicket.
Look at that
to
beautiful
the
big
left-hander,
smile.
So he enjoys that angle.
From Carlos Brathwaite. Didn't want to even cross, but yeah, do the right thing, do the basics, cross, and allow Ross Taylor to come through.
Will try to
strike
create
back.
some added pressure.
You know, pulled apart
The offside
for
comes
just
into the
3,
30-yard
89
circle.
for 6 now.
Has to cut that easy single. It's been a real issue for the Patriots, having to balance their bowling with their batting. On 2 occasions they were able to score in excess of 150, the Patriots. Not getting consistency in all departments.
Captain Green is out the centre.
Languishing at the bottom of the Hero
Put on his
MotoCorp
plate,
leaderboard.
just quietly. Yeah, useful numbers, and he's a useful striker.
Gets this one
CV at
through.
28.
Didn't
Here-
try
here
to
at CPL.
overhit it, he waited for it.
I'd like to beat that.
And presented
This
the full
afternoon here
face
in
of the
match
bat.
8. Did cross in the end, and Ross Taylor
Yeah, lovely
saw him
shot.
out with a glove work.
He's played it
Tidying things
late,
up.
which enabled
Crease.
him to get it square and get on top of the bounce
More
and
of a
time it
Ricky.
away.
Carlos Ricky Brathwaite. It's over to you, Skip. Oh, wickets have been falling regularly, haven't they?
Yeah, the extra bounce once again, the undoing of another Ghana Amazon Warriors batsman.
In these conditions.
Straight into the game.
Speak about the database of
Carlos Brathwaite is
experience
first
that batsmen
out in with the
have.
Jamaica Talwas, none for 56.
Having
It's been
the
an
ability
amazing
to
passage
adapt
of
to
play.
different conditions and situations.
56.
Roston Chase
3 for 57. Currently 90 for 6.
2
The
half
Warriors.
centuries, and again,
And what was the hallmark
21
of their
from
season
21.
last year was their batting. Top order really doing the
got
job.
5 Test match centuries.
Winning 10
Roston Chase.
preliminary matches on the
So he
bounce.
knows how to deal with a
This year has
crisis
been a little bit
situation.
of a mixed result
Has
for
the
them.
ability to absorb pressure,
Early doors
assess
yet.
conditions very quickly, and recognizes which shots are most appropriate for the pitch and the conditions. Goes to the top. 161 runs.
Very good over this from
Leading the
Brathwaite.
charge with the bat in this year's Hero CPL.
A wicket and just 4 off the 14th. Warriors are 92 for 6.
Up and over. There was room, it was full, and he had some pace on that delivery. Zadran, boundary.
Yeah, with the deep cover up, the width and the length that was on offer, he was never going to hesitate but to try to drive this over the infield. opening the face of the bat, so the bottom hand coming through the shot a little bit earlier to be able to get that elevation over the infield.
Now the sweeper goes out, so that awareness of knowing the fielder
Samuel Badry,
within the 30-yard circle.
Just chilled out a little. That goal of possibly getting to 140, 150 seems Mount Everest away.
79 for
they're
3
beating the
after
drum.
10.
They're
The Angostura LLB drinks
calling the
break
tune
now.
here at the moment. More of like Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, spot on. Lovely line and length.
Excellent control. And beautiful. Yeah, coloring, here styling there from Kimo Paul. I really love what I'm seeing here from Sandeep Lamichhane. Nice bounce, nice turn, good control. Seems to have a good rhythm. Enjoying these conditions. Enjoying the surface.
Down. Wait.
Look at that ball. Bustling type action here from Sandeep. Dream11.com or download the app. Get involved and pick your team. Look at that, nice bustling action, energy through the crease, good rotations, good revs on the ball. There's good variations as well, like very good googly. Not bowling it too much in this contest. But I like his energy through the crease. That's important. A lot of wrist spinners sort of amble in, but he actually runs in and gets that energy, gets that momentum to impart that turn. And very successful in every tournament that he's been and representing his country with distinction. And he's bowled them, clean them up behind his legs. Chris Green just went across to the offside and being bowled. Leg stump, leg fall off the ground. Success again for Sandeep.
How about an El Dorado celebration? Cut loose, young man. Oh, loving this from Jamaica. Oh, let's celebrate, he says. Got far too